No, thanks for coming. Obviously, we have been starting workouts. I think we're in week 5, I believe, of workouts, and we had only one team practice. Everything else has been individuals, and I've tried to stay away from them as much as physically possible just because we didn't end until April last year, and we've got the bulk of our team back. 4 starters, obviously, as well as a bunch of new guys. But, you know, year 2 is much more enjoyable than year 1 just because I don't have to get to know these guys as much. Anybody that we've brought in, we've recruited, so that part of it's been exciting. You know, so it's the summertime. We still got a long, long way to go, but we're excited about where we're headed.
Any surprises in the non-conference schedule?
No, not really. I know everybody's going to ask about the NIT. I mean, you know, it's we are hoping it all works out. It's a little bit in flux right now, but we're pretty confident that it's all going to work out.
What's the biggest challenge with it? You say it's in flux.
Well, they couldn't get, I guess, 16 teams, I think is what they were looking for. And I think they're working on making sure, you know, because what you wanted was 2 home games, 2 neutral site games. And I know Dan Gavitt's working very, very hard to make that happen. So we still want to play in it, and we want to make it happen. And I think it's moving in that direction.
Is there any scenario in which you would bow out of that?
You know, I hope not, to be honest with you. But we want to make it work. You know, we know we played in the Garden last year. It was a great experience. And to play in the Garden is always fun for our players, and we want to make it work, so I hope not.
Some of your guys made significant strides in his summer workouts, Richard?
Yeah, Squirrel Carlos Morris put on 17 pounds, which was huge. You know, and he still needs to put on a little bit more, obviously. Nate Mason has looked good. He's put on some weight. You know, of the returning guys, they're all in great shape. Like DeAndre put on, I think, 13 pounds of muscle. You know, so I'm excited. I think they're all excited about it too, because year 1 they're getting to know me, they're getting to know the system. Now they understand the way that we want to play. They understand the terminology. Now it's just getting back to doing it right. I mean, we won a championship year 1. Obviously, we want to play in the NCAA tournament. So we were playing our best basketball at the end of the season, which is nice. But now we know what kept us out of the NCAA. So I think these guys are eager.
Walker's still the same weight in that, or?
Probably put on a little bit more muscle, but I don't think there's a whole lot of transformation just yet. Still working on that.
What do they ask you to do this summer? Do they ask you to meet with a lot of donors or potential donors and that kind of thing, or they just say go recruit the best players? What do you do?
That would be nice, but no. Norwood's always got me, you know, doing a bunch of different things. But what I love about Norwood more than anything, and there's a lot of things I love about him, but he lets you do your thing during the season. He understands what it takes when you're in that kind of that grind during the season. In the off season, I tell him all the time, whatever you need me to do, I am glad to do it, because I know we've got a lot of work to do in that department. And, you know, so I've done a decent amount of stuff, and I'll continue to do that in the off season as much as possible.
What's been the perception of the recruiting trail now that they know what your style is, where you fit in the Big Ten? Yeah,
it's been, I always say it's not easy. It's never easy. It's been less difficult just because, like, when they talk to me, they know we won the NIT. They saw the game. It was a great game. They probably may have seen a couple of games on TV, so they understand the way that we're going to play, which is nice. I can now, if kids come on campus, I can show them some film of how we play. It's just so much less difficult, because when I first came here, there's so many unknowns, and now you don't have that as much. Now, like me, don't like me, whatever it is, now you know what you're going to get.